Hey guys, it's Danny Elliott. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome back to the Silent Spring, also known as the 2025 Spring Housing Market in the United States. Because I'm going to give you the top 10 housing markets. These are some of the 10 biggest metro areas in the United States. 1 out of 4 and as many as 1 out of 3 listings on the MLS have cut the price in the spring selling season. Now, does that sound to you like a hot spring housing market? Does that sound to you like it's time to buy? Like these are the best deals of all time? No, it doesn't sound like that. The 10 housing markets where prices are falling fast this spring home buying season. Spring is in the air and prices are dropping. Listings with a price cut nationally hit the highest level since 2016 for the month of March, according to a new report from Realtor.com. Inventory is rising fast, reaching the highest level in 3 years for March. Quote, "We're seeing a market offering more choices for shoppers," said Danielle Hale, chief economist for Realtor.com. Buyers are still not rising to the occasion, though, with high home prices, all-time high property taxes and HOA fees, and high mortgage interest rates. The median U.S. listing price was $425,000 as of March, and the number of new listings was up over 10% year over year. About 32% of all existing homes sold in the U.S. have historically been purchased between February and May. Seeing price drops in the spring market nationwide proves a major shift in the U.S. housing market. Homeowners who purchased homes during the crisis at low interest rates, many times bidding up the prices, are now locked in and have no choice but to stay put. Mortgage prisoners. This spring, inventory levels are rising and home sellers are slashing their prices. Give me a like if you think prices are still too high, but give me a thumbs down if you think that the rates just need to come down and everything will be solved by interest rate cuts. Quote, "A buyer's market has been defined as when months of supply reaches 4 to 6 months," said Chen Zhao. Quote, "Buyers have much, if not more, power than the sellers," she added. And NAR data revealed the cities with the biggest share of price cuts were: number 10, Austin, Round Rock, San Marcos, Texas. Number 9, Portland, Vancouver, Hillsboro, Oregon, and Washington. Number 8, Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, the DFW Metroplex, one of the biggest areas in the country. Number 7, Tucson, Arizona. Number 6, Denver, Aurora, Centennial, Colorado. Number 5, Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford, Florida. 3 of the top 5 are in Florida. Number 4, San Antonio, New Braunfels, Texas. Number 3, Jackson Kill, Florida. Number 2, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida. Popular crisis relocation area. They moved down to Tampa, and now everybody's selling, and no one's buying. And number 1 in the country, Phoenix, Mesa, Chandler, Arizona. Almost 1/3 of all real estate listings cut their price in March. Inventory is flooding in these markets as demand remains extremely low. However, demand is still high in some markets where buyers backed by the bank of mom and dad are fighting to the finish to overbid on these never renovated old crows. That's my editorializing. Buyers in the Northeast are scooping up these houses at record high prices, making it tough to buy. One of my audience members left a comment the other day saying that he's trying to buy a house in Iowa, and he says any good home is locked up, and he can't find anything under $1 million. He didn't say what city. So I'll tell you right now, if you're in Boston, Hartford, New York, Rhode Island, New Jersey, everything is still tight. You can't find anything. So that's true. There's no inventory. The government is increasing everybody's property taxes. Utilities are going up. Gas, electric, water, sewer, all those are going up because of the cost of government is going up. The public utilities commissions don't care. They approve these rate increases, and the homeowners are just going to pay for it. And the banks, they got you imprisoned in the house. You're locked in at that 2.7% interest rate. so you're not going to sell because, like this guy in my comment section was saying, you can't go and buy that same house. If you were to sell your house and then try to move to a comparable house in a new market, you can't buy that house. You're going to have to move from a 3,000 square foot house to a 1,200 square foot house. And you're going to have to move from an A neighborhood to a C neighborhood. Nobody wants to do that. So everybody's locked in. Nobody's talking about it, but a lot of these deals involve a large suitcase of cash from mom and dad, and that's why they're bidding these prices up in places like the Northeast. And it's going to continue to go on. You know, I'm excited to sell my deal on a lease option. Then we'll take that cash flow and go look for another deal to work on. But if nobody's willing to sell me their deal, I'm not going to pay a high price, you know? I'm only going to take over payments at a low interest rate. But if it's not the right price, I'm not going to buy it. Because the price is what really matters. A lot of buyers are buying based on a monthly payment. You know, you look on Zillow and it says you can have this house for this monthly payment, but they don't tell you that that includes a 20% down payment on that house, right? And it doesn't include taxes, the insurance, the HOA fee, the utilities. It doesn't include repairs and maintenance on that asset. I mean, you look at a lot of these houses, nobody's making repairs on these houses. These houses need work, and a lot of the realtors are just trying to see if they can pull the wool over your eyes and see if they can get you to walk in and buy a bad deal. But a lot of these houses are not worth the price. They're very dated. They're dogs with fleas. They need work. They haven't been maintained. They haven't done $1 worth of work to the house. They're just hanging on for dear life. And, you know, you don't want to buy deals like this. So it's good to see that 10 of the largest metropolitan areas in the United States are now experiencing price cuts. 1 in 3 listings with price cuts in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida. So that's good to see. But this thing's got a long way to go, guys. So I wouldn't rush in this silent spring because nobody's buying out there. And everybody knows it. The realtors know it. Nobody's closing any transactions. Everybody's running around trying to get you to come in and buy something. We'll give you an adjustable rate, you know, just to get you in the door. Believe me, the property taxes and the insurance are a big problem right now. And that's what's going on in Florida. That's what's going on in other locations. In the South, they build houses like gangbusters. So there's a lot of supply coming online. So these prices have a long way to go down, in my opinion. But you let me know what you think in the comments section. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Danny Elliott.